Hello everyone and welcome back to 4KB Shorts Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program with the Realz is what I'm going to call this particular series. The Realz with a Z, because of course that's a thing now. Everyone with a Z. You have War Z, DayZ, ZZ, Top. Um, I wanted to do a couple of announcements. Since you guys mostly watch my KSP videos, this is the best place to do announcements. Twitter. Please begin following me on Twitter if you have not. I know you guys are like, why, KB? All you ever post are your video uploads, and we see those on YouTube anyway. Not for long. If you guys notice this weekend, I say this weekend because this is the weekend I did it. I completely hammered you guys with video uploads. I did. Like, my videos are barely getting 2 or 3 views. They were barely on the front page for like 10 hours before I hit you with another one. And the reason why is because I have a huge backlog of videos because I record constantly. I am constantly playing games. I am constantly recording. Gaming is my hobby. I love gaming, and recording is something I've just recently added to that. So I play a game, I record a game. I very rarely play a game that I'm not recording. And because of that, I have a huge backlog of videos, but because I work, of course, and my commute is very long, I only have time to upload 1 video per day, as you guys saw, and then a huge amount on the weekends. And because of that, I'm recording too much and I'm not uploading enough. 2 changes for that are going to happen. One is, apart from KSP, which is a continuous Let's Play, and maybe 1 or 2 other continuous Let's Plays. I was going to say 1, like I have FTL and Tokyo Jungle. You know, I'm going to keep one of those alive. Project Zomboid, not that much. Wasn't really into it to begin with. It is super fun, but it isn't keeping my interest. So, you know. Anyway, point being, not to talk about the other games too much. That one change is going to be I'm going to have like 1 really big, long linear game, like Bioshock or something similar, that I can upload. And then I'm going to have KSP, and then possibly 1 additional game, maybe 1 additional survival game or roguelike for you guys. I may change it up, but the biggest change, the biggest change, you guys may or may not love this, you're going to have to give me some feedback on it, longer videos. I play for 4 or 5 hours a day, but I record half-hour videos. So I record half-hour, then I record another half-hour, and so on and so forth. So over the course of 3 hours worth of play, I've just created, what, 6 videos? Over the course of, that would be uploaded one after the other over the course of a week, when I could just record 3 one-hour videos. And that's like the length I'm going to stay with, is just an hour. I'm not going to go above that. I recently uploaded a video that's an hour and a half long, and I think that's really stretching it. So give me your feedback, what you think on longer videos. I have had people say, please, longer videos, especially for KSP and like other survival games like Tokyo Jungle and whatnot. Tell me what you think of longer videos. More story, longer videos. You can watch them at work, you can watch them at home, you can listen to them in the background. I don't know how you guys watch, but there you go. Big announcement on there. Alright. Now, oh yeah, the Twitter thing. The reason I want you guys to follow me on Twitter is what I'm going to do is once a major linear story game has been done, and if I don't have one already lined up, I have like 2 billion lined up, by the way, but if I don't have one already permanently lined up, like I'm doing that game no matter what, I'm going to put up a poll on Twitter, and I'm going to say, of these games, and I'm probably going to drop about 3 games on there, maybe like 1 old school, 1 mid-range, and like maybe 1 newer. I will not be doing release titles, don't ask. Like new release titles, please don't ask. Sorry. We're going to drop that on Twitter, and I'm going to say, please vote. And if I get like 1 vote, that will sway me. So if you guys want to see what comes next out of the games list that I have, please jump in there and say, KB, we want to see this. Don't be jumping in there going, well, I don't like the 3 games you've put on there. I want you to play this, because there's a chance I don't own that game. And the will to buy that game may not be high enough for me to say, oh yeah, I'll buy that game for the 1 guy who wants to see me LP it, even though I was never interested in playing in the first place. And so because of that, please, follow me on Twitter, and I hate saying this, I hate like begging for subscriptions and stuff, but please follow me on Twitter, because that's the thing I'm going to start doing, and if there's no one there, no one voting, no one saying, hey, play this one or this one, I'm just going to choose one, and that's what you guys are stuck with until the next big game comes out. Now, of course, you guys are mostly interested in KSP, so you probably don't even care, but I just wanted to get that out there, that big announcement. I'm kind of using KSP as an announcement platform, since nobody's following me on Twitter. I have like 915 subscribers as of this date. Thank all of you, by the way, that's totally awesome. And I have 8 people following me on Twitter, none of which are actually watchers, I think. I think maybe 1 might be a watcher. The other, like, 7 people are just randoms who, I guess, follow everybody just in case someone says something interesting. I don't know. so anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into KSP and the ZZ Top. I mean, the Realz. And so first thing I want to point out is my little flag. I drew this little flag. It is a pixelized flag. We will get an up-close and personal view of this flag at some point. I don't know when. It's very simplistic, very fun. I thought it was cute when I drew it. I don't know. It's up to you guys. It's just Kerbin and the moon and the little rocket, and that's it. Then of course we have the mission pack. Now with the mission pack, Scott Manley recently, and by recently I mean within the last few hours, uploaded a video regarding this mission pack, and he liked it, and I like it, and I think it's pretty awesome, and I've tested it out. But it has some bugs. One bug is that the budget, like if I launch a ship that's 10,000, I guess these are Kuros. We're going to call them Kuros. I don't know what they're actually called, but it looks like a K and a Euro, so we're going to call them Kuros, because that just sounds funny. If I launch a ship that costs 10,000 Kuros, forget a solar panel, take it back inside and launch it again, I'm down 20,000 Kuros for the addition of one 200 Kuros solar panel. No. So because of that, this is not going to be super important, because the super important part of the Realz, with a Z, is permadeath, the Kerbin permadeath. So this is just a sort of a guide to get us out there, to get us to do stuff, to get us to do things that may actually hurt a Kerbin, rather than me just flying to the moon, landing, and being done with it. But this, I'm going to try to keep this number in the green, but it's not the most important thing. So if this number goes red, don't be like, okay, B, you have to end the series, you went in under budget. No. That's not our gig. That's not what we're doing. So I will try to keep this in the green, but I'm not going to worry about it. That's a bug I found. Now the bug that Scott found was if you select the mission pack, and I believe it's a stock mission pack, yes, and you go to hover 1, here's one of the rules. Build a vessel that is able to hover for 10 seconds between 100 meters and 150 meters above Kerbin's surface. Well, you're thinking, okay, well, you did that in the Project Indigo video, right? And it's easy. Yeah, except that was like a $10,000 spaceship that I subsequently smashed into the dirt for cinematic purposes. The problem is Scott demonstrated that you could do this where to hover between a max altitude of 150 and a minimum altitude of 100 with a minimum time of 10 seconds between those two altitudes, all you have to do is put a parachute on a probe and then fling it over 150 meters. Open the parachute, and it will actually drift between these two, and it will take longer than 10 seconds to drift between those two, so you've just technically hovered between two, and I made air quotes. Oh god, I made air quotes. Ugh, I gotta wash my hands. You basically just hovered between these two destinations when all you really did is parachute through them. You parachuted through a section of air, and you get 5,000 Kuros for it. It's not, no, that's not how I'm going to play. Another thing you can do is there's a couple of these that say get into, I think it's Sputnik down here. Bring a small satellite into suborbital flight around Kerbin. That's it says minimum apoapsis is 70,000 meters. Well, you can, and minimum max is 1. Well, if you're not in orbit, max will always be below 1. So all you have to do is fly up to 70,000, and boom, you win. You don't even have to get to 70,000. Just your apoapsis has to hit 70,000. And then you're done. But if you land the spaceship, you can recycle it for more money, but you get 22,000 just for shooting straight up in the air. Once again, not something I'm going to do. Actually, it was funny, somebody had mentioned in the comments regarding this, that he believes you can drive a rover up a 100-meter hill and sit there for 10 seconds, and it'll count. I'm pretty sure rovers are too expensive to get 5K out of it, like the 5K to be worth it. But that's what I mean when I say it's a little bit buggy. But we're going to try to do this legit style. I mean, the money's not really a big thing, but we're going to try to do this legit. Now, I've taken up a crap ton of your time already. I don't even know how long that's been. Probably about 10, maybe even 15 minutes. I do apologize for that. But we are going to go ahead and start Kerbal Space Program, the Realz. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our options. Now, here are our options. If you notice, very stock parts. I've not installed very many mods. I've installed a few. I believe I installed the Kerbal X Pack, which added some of the bits. It's been updated since Claire, I think her name is. Claire, I don't know. I remember Claire. And it's not from Thomas Was Alone. I remember Claire. She got hired, I'm assuming she got hired at Squad, and like this pod here and this pod here were from the Kerbal X Pack and are now stock parts. Well, because of that, somebody out there updated the Kerbal X Pack to install all the parts that are not stock or were not stock to begin with. So that's helpful, but the mod is no longer being updated, which makes it less helpful. These are some mods that we've added for RUI sample analysis unit for Joule. You get samples from these places and it tells you if there's life. I think the modder doesn't know much about coding, no offense, because each one of these goes to a specific planet or moon or rock, when I think if you were able to code it, you could do it like the Kethane mod or something, where you just fly to a planet and dig a hole and it tells you whether or not there's life. Don't know. Okay, so that's the update on the mods. Nothing really big, and as you notice, we're using the Kerbal Engineers by Cybutech. We are not using MechJeb because MechJeb makes it too easy to fly, and we're doing these now. So here we go. We have our current budget is 50,000 Kiros, and what we want mission pack. We're going to start with the stock mission pack because this is more closely related to. What's the word? I'm like, well, I don't know. These ones are like get a ship into a specific orbit, right? And then we have like Moon 1, which is go to the moon, and oop, wrong place. Sputnik 1. Now, Sputnik 1 is easy because Sputnik 1 is like bring a small satellite into suborbital flight. And so this would be like the start of a space thing, and I think that's kind of where we want to go, isn't it? And so to do that, let's check our mission pack. Now, the other one, of course, you guys told me about is the NT mission pack, which is locked. You have to do this way. So what do we get? Oh, what? Oh, God, my neighbor. Come on, man. Fix your car, dude. Sorry. Okay, so hi, they call me Kit, Kerbal in text. My name is Steve, by the way. Not doesn't matter. Not 100% on English, but we'll cope. Okay, here's our very first mission. Reach 75 kilometers with a probe, and then land safely, so don't forget the parachute, and remember, drag chutes are a no-no. I don't know what a drag chute is, specifically. I mean, a parachute's a parachute, right? Okay, so what are we gonna do? Mission goal is reward is 15,000 K. Now, since the reward is 15,000 Kiros, I'm thinking that we're gonna want to keep our budget, our ship budget, under 15,000. You know, that way we get money. That way we earn money rather than lose money. All right, so okay, first bring the rocket up to 75,000 meters. It's pretty damn high, actually. Reward 2,500 Kiros, body, Kerbin, minimum altitude 75,000. See, that's minimum altitude 75,000. Mission goal landing description. Well done. Now bring it back down. So we have to take off, get to 75,000 meters or 75 kilometers, and then land again. Now, let's take a look. Establish a stable orbit around Kerbin. Reach the satellite orbit 80 kilometers with a probe. Stay there for 2 hours to collect data, and then land safe. Preferred at KSP. Don't forget you need all 4 sensors on the probe. See, I'm not really sure which one to start with, because I want to start with this one. But at the same time... Oh, we're going to have to ippy-dippy this, aren't we, guys? Because... Oop, that's not what I wanted. Because, Oh, here we go. Ippy-dippy, my spaceship be on a course to true. Best Neptune and Pluto's moon, the one I choose is you. Okay, so we're starting with NT mission pack. So, we're going to have to go with, Mission Alpha. So we have to get up to 75,000, and the reason I was concerned is because this is basically the same as Sputnik. Well, whatever. So we're going to select this mission. We just select mission, and we're going to close that. And here's our mission. So we can get 15,000 is our reward, which is, you know, our 50,000. 15,000 is our reward. An additional bonus reward, or 25,000, and then we have to land. Okay, so this is our goal. This is our goal. Our goal is to get it up there, and then bring it back down. Since that's all we have to do, cheapest parts are better. Cheaper, better, right? That's how we do this. 500, 300, 230. Yep, cheapest parts are better. So this is going to be our brain. Because it's a probe, we don't need to take a Kerbal lift. This is not all going to be permadeath, of course, because, you know, we're also doing the mission pack. So I'm not going to be taking Kerbins up there. I want to tell you guys that stuff is totally awesome, though. Just so you know. Alright, now, we want to make this cheap, but I don't want to be too cheap, you know? That's my thing, is I don't like when people are like, okay, you just put a probe and then, like, put a solid rocket booster underneath. There, you're done. Ugh. No. Come on, have some realism, guys. Probably won't need much in the way of battery power. We're just going up to 75,000, aren't we? And so we're not going to need much in the way of battery power. I really need to install the other batteries, though. These batteries are all too big. So, I mean, we can just put, like, one battery on here, right, guys? Maybe just a solar panel, just in case. Well, how much is a battery? 80 versus 100 for this photovoltaic. So a battery is cheaper. See, that's the thing we're going to be doing now, you guys. We're not going to just be building a ship based on weight. We're going to be building a ship based on everything else. So we want a battery. We want to bring it back down safely, right? That was one of our goals. So, of course, our last goal is to bring it down safely. And if you guys remember my Let's Learn, I once told you guys that to build a spaceship is to know where you're going to be once you get there. I don't know why, but it looks like a rocket pack, dude. I am Rocket Man. Alright, so there's that. Now, I could cheap out and not do landing legs, but I kind of like the idea of being able to land on legs. We may land in water, honestly. I don't even know. So there's our probe, right? Do we need anything else? I mean, we have a battery. We're only going up to 75,000 kilometers. I mean, this might even be too much, but we want to land it. That's the other thing. No specific landing coordinates. They just want it to come down and be safe. So if that's the case, we can have it come down and be safe. Let's see. I'm looking really quick. I just want to make sure that that's all we need. We don't really need lights. We don't really. It's only going up to 75,000 and then coming back. Do we have to establish orbit? See, that's the thing, is it doesn't say we have to establish orbit, does it? It just says minimum altitude is 75,000. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 75,000 minimum altitude. So, let's do this. Now, I may cheap out on you guys a little bit, and I say that because if we take a look over here at the science module, the ER7500 computer flight unit is 500, it's 160, and this is 240. Kerbal Engineer System helps with building rockets, giving you important specification statistics about the craft while being created. Flight Engineer Runtime Assemblies. The Kerbal Engineering System helps with building rockets, giving you important specification statistics about a craft while being created. This is cut down engineering system without the flight engineer for Kerbal's on a budget. Okay, so this is internal, like in here. This is internal and external. We're going to go internal and external, so we're going to toss not 4 of them on there. We're going to toss just one of these little computer chips right there on the little guy. Now he looks all official and bug-like. We don't have any Delta V or anything. I don't think we're going to need it. Honestly, I really don't. We are going to need, however, so we can land properly, a decoupler. So let's go ahead and pop a decoupler on there really quick. And then once again, I am going to build these things like you would build a normal ship. So this is a 680 part, or 680 kilo part, but I think it's worth it, personally. But that's me. Because that's just the way I am. I don't like building ships that are craptacular just to save a little bit of scratch. So our total sum right now is 2472. You know, that's like one of our bonuses, I think. One of our rewards. Alright, so now, well, we're at 75. There's a thought. We are actually at 75 kilometers, aren't we? Forgot. Well, you know what? We don't really need landing gear if we use that as a landing skid, right? Hey, let's do that. Let's do that. This is going to be a little bit cheaper, but we don't really need to do much with it. We just need a landing skid, don't we? And I guess we wouldn't need the nose cone at that point. So that, yeah, okay, so that makes it cheaper. So see, these are the thoughts that you have when you're building a ship. Now what we need to do is we need to be able to get this thing high up into the great black. Well, how much is this clamp? I like... See, it's money versus pretty is what I'm doing right now. It's like, how much does it cost? 200, 600, 600, 9, 2 is tiny. Yeah, we'll go cheap versus pretty for now. We need to build up our Kerbucks. Okay, so this is the first episode, you guys. I do apologize. This is the first episode. It is extremely difficult to build a rocket that is super cheap. For the first time, when I was testing, I really wasn't worried about money, like, at all. So 3,596, do you think that will get us to 75,000 kilometers? 75,000 kilometers, that's 7.5 million meters. Let's go ahead and try that again. Do you think that'll get us to 75 kilometers? I don't know. Wondering if maybe we should put a little itty-bitty engine on it just in case. Probably not. It should be fine. 3,596. What engine is that? That is the 215 Jericho? Or was it the 200? Where's the output on it? There it is. Max engine output's been wrong. 3371 versus... Oop. 3596. Well, this one has thrust vectoring, and with this little itty-bitty rocket, I think thrust vectoring is more important. Now, once again, I could cheap out, but we're only going to be slightly cheap because we need one of these, and I know they're 200, but I cannot launch without one of these. The main rocket will break off, and I'd rather have a $600, excuse me, $200, 200 kilos, 200 kilo launch clamp, than have to relaunch a 3,000 kilo ship 3 times. Personally, I mean, that's just my gig. So we have a decoupler, parachute. Don't want to decouple and parachute. We actually don't want to decouple at all. We want to parachute and keep the heat shield. And we're going to talk about the heat shield when we get out there too, because the heat shield has some awesome stuff, and so does the heat shield mod. Just so you guys know. I wonder if we might have a balance issue though. Nah, we should be fine. Okay, so what are we going to call this thing? Well, we're going to call this TRZ. That stands for the Realz. Just so you guys know, that's going to be our new naming convention for this particular series, is TRZ. So we're going to call this TRZ, well, I have no idea what it looks like either, that's the thing. It is just a very teeny tiny probe. It is a very teeny tiny probe. Wow. Let me go ahead and think about this for a minute, and then I'll be right back, because I'm wasting so much of your guys' time with this thing anyway. So, let me think about a name, and then I will be right back. I'll actually meet you guys out on the launch pad, just tell you the name, because it's faster that way. So I'll see you guys out there. Alright, everybody, here we are out on the launch pad with the... what did I call it? See, now I don't even remember. Oh, dear Lord, I can't even remember what I called the silly thing. I believe I called it the shroom. Yes, I call it the shroom. Because it looks like, if you flip it upside down, it does look like a mushroom. So we're going to call it the TRZ shroom. It's going to be our first test ship. Now we have to get up to 75,000 meters, and then from there, we have to come back down. Now I think we're going to fly over land, so I actually am going to take a look at my map really quick. And I think we're going to head sort of a north-ish trajectory, because that will get us mostly on land. Because we're just going up and then coming back down, so I'm not worried about an equatorial orbit at all. Why is there a curve in there? Okay, there's no curve. Good. Just wanted to make sure. So yeah, we're going to head kind of northish. Now northish from here is that way. Not that way. It's that way. Yes, it's that way. I know that much at least. So north is that way. That's the direction we're going to head. We're going to head kind of over the hills over there. I do like how our flag's chilling out here on the flagpole. Totally awesome. Now... I'm really nervous, you guys. I don't know if you guys realize this. I'm actually really nervous about this thing working and breaking because we have money on the line. There's money on the line. Oh my god, it's a career mode. But it seems like we're pretty set, so we're just going to go up and hope for the best. So here we go. And we'll have our orbital trajectory here, and I think we'll just kind of tilt a little bit in that direction. Going to kind of keep us off. Now, the purpose... Now, we're going to have lots of pop-ups. So our minimum altitude is 75,000. That's not our... Oof, I don't know if I have enough, actually, now that I think about it. This may have been a waste of some Kuros. But I didn't want to overcompensate, so now I'm undercompensating, and that's probably really bad, too. Alright. Now, I did turn down my engine. I hope you guys can hear it okay. Actually, I turned it way down. It's way, way, way down there. Do apologize for that. Oh, noes. We may actually not be able to make this. That's an upsetting thought. Oh, well. It was worth a good shot, I suppose. It will give us some test data, if nothing else. We want to kind of slow down so we don't get heat physics going on. So our current apoapsis is 24,000, which is wonderful. We really just want to go up more than over, but you know me, I don't want to be cheap either. Alright. Okay, we're going to throttle up some more because we're kind of out of the atmosphere. Oh, there we go. 75,000. Let's go ahead and save the rest of our fuel. I don't know why, but let's just save the rest of our fuel. So our current apoapsis, yeah, that's why, because we're still in atmosphere. So this is kind of a cheap flight, but it's not a suborbital flight. It does just say reach altitude, and I know I'm splitting hairs, but with Sputnik I would absolutely go more sideways, I think. We are kind of going sideways, so I'm okay with it. But I really wanted to make sure we didn't waste money, at least on the first couple of flights. Afterwards, and when we build up a little bit of bank, maybe I'll be like, hey, we're done. So, very boring flight. I know it's going to start out really slow, which is also why I kind of use this as an announcement for you guys. Remember, changes coming to the channel, none bad. You may see a flood of a few more videos. You may see less variations on videos, I think, for a little bit. But after a while, everything should work out fine. And honestly, you know what? We have a problem. We're going to be coming straight back down, aren't we? Yeah, that's actually going to be an issue. We are going to have to be very cautious about that because we can't be doing stupid stuff like coming in super fast, can we? So let's roll our nose and our butt around. So while we're up here, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the deadly reentry mod, which now that I'm thinking about it, probably is going to destroy this ship outright. Oh, speaking of which, we made it to site? Yes, high to finish goal. So we have to land on Kerbin. That's our other goal. Yeah, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough because we may not make it. We may not make it. So our budget is now 42,081, by the way. But we have to land on Kerbin. Now, the reason I mention this is because if you take a look and we right click on here, we have this thing right here, which is now a resource. It's ablative shielding is what it's referred to as. And what that is the deadly reentry mod has been hyper updated. It got passed to another dev, and the new dev did some work on it. And what the work actually is, and I know this is slow, but I'm talking to you about this while we're going slow. I'm not going to speed up time or anything because, you know, whatever. Anyway, what he did is it's smarter now. Deadly reentry is no longer about what's your maximum temperature, have you reached maximum temperature, yes, kaboom. That's no longer how the math works. It actually works differently now in the fact that what it does is it says, what's the ablative shield coating, where is it facing? I.e., this thing has ablative shielding, but it's only on this bottom side, this side of the plate. So what that means is as you're coming in, if this is aimed at Kerbin, the ablative shielding starts doing what ablative shielding is supposed to do. It starts peeling away. So it takes damage. The health goes down. This number, which is at 250, starts going down, depending on how much heat is hitting it. So if too much heat hits it, it goes down too fast, boom, it's gone. If not very much heat hits it, it doesn't go down very fast, and you're fine. Because of that, the dev, I don't know who it is, the new dev, also made it to where ships that have ablative coating on them, like the B9 aerospace pack shows ablative coating, the Mark III cockpit has ablative coating, you know, the painted things at the bottom. Because of that, those ships now can re-enter without exploding. You don't have to worry about those ships blowing up on re-entry, so you can actually use those ships now because the ablative coating on the bottom counts. And the game knows when that's facing the heat versus when, say, the top of the cockpit or some other portion of the ship is facing the heat. And that is totally awesome. That is totally awesome that they're able to do that. I've only tested one re-entry. It was with this shield on a Mark 1, well, not Mark 1 pod, but the one-man pod. I think it's the Mark 2 pod now. And it worked really, 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 really well. The ablative coating went down about halfway, but I survived. It didn't burn up, didn't blow up. Everything worked great. But we're coming in. We're actually not coming in that fast because we... okay, so there's our surface speed. So we may start to burn in. And everything now has its temperature. As you can see, its temperature is slowly increasing. Let's see if we can slow our roll a little bit, which will keep our temperature down. Well, actually, it'll increase our temperature, but the engine shouldn't burn up. There you go. See, this is helpful. We're probably not going to have... Yeah, okay. So we want to detach and then parachute out. Now, this ablative coating here... See, so it's at 305 degrees. So we barely even started to burn up, even just a little bit. A little bit of a waste. I'm pretty sure at this point Scott Manley's reusable space program would be my friend with parachutes on everything. But for now, we're not going to worry about that. I don't know how expensive that's going to get, but for now, we're going to be okay. So here's our little guy. Now, as I said, because I have this light little ship, if I were to get down to, and I think I'm low enough in the sea level department, if I were to get down to 150 by 100 meters, I was going to say, did my parachute just rip off? If I were to get down to 150 by 100 meters, I could say, oh, I want to take the hover challenge, and it would be like, okay, yeah, you've hovered between 150 by 100, there you go, here's your 5,000 kilos. And I'd be like, no fun, not cool. We're going to do our thing, we're not going to worry about that. I also don't think this thing detaches quite properly. I'm wondering how heavy we are. We shouldn't be heavy enough to rip anything off, but I've actually detached this in the past. It doesn't detach properly, unfortunately. So once it's stuck, it's stuck. Which is why I took the landing gear off. It's just cheaper that way. Alright, we should safely land on... Whoa! Yay! We didn't tear! Alright, so there's that. It is going to take us... We're at 1,000 meters. It is going to take us quite... Are we actually at 1,000 meters? True altitude? No, surface. Oh, okay, so we're at 300 meters. It might still take us a minute. I was going to cut, but we should be able to reach the ground here in a minute, and that'll give us time to talk about more stuff. So this is what we're going to be doing for the first few episodes. Just as little things to test it out, to get used to it, to play it, to see if there's any major bugs. Like I said, we just spent almost 8,000 kilos to build this ship. That includes fuel, other costs, whatever other costs are. I think other costs include like taxiing out to the launch pad. I'm not sure, or maybe it's just mods that it can't calculate, but it knows there's price tags on them. I have no idea. But it has fuel requirements, thruster requirements, all that stuff. It actually calculates really, really well. It's a great little mod. Thank you all, everyone. And I'm sorry I don't remember, like 2 or 3 of you actually mentioned this one specifically and pointed me at it. And thank you. It helps a ton. It really does. It actually gives us short-term goals because I want to plant a flag on the moon. Who the hell doesn't? But in order to do that, I just don't want to fly out to the moon, plant a flag, and be like, there, I planted a flag on the moon. I want it to feel like it meant something. And of course, to do that, why not have a mission where it's like it costs you money, you get money for doing it, and when you come back, you can feel accomplished. Totally awesome. Okay, so hopefully we don't blow up. Boom. All right, so yeah, see, it has a little bit of a clipping issue is our problem. But throttle down. Oh, false. So you have to throttle down once you land. There you go. All goals accomplished. You can finish this mission now. So we can say finish mission, and then you can recycle your vessel. Our current vessel value is 894 Kuros. So if we recycle this vessel, like if we have no use for it, we can get an additional 894 Kuros out of it, which will put us over 60,000. So we'll do that. We'll recycle this vessel, and this is a recycled vessel. You can't finish any missions with this vessel. So you can finish multiple missions with a single vessel if you can get that vessel to do multiple missions. Like if you can launch a platform that says that like launches 4 satellites, and then you get all 4 satellites where they're supposed to go, and then you select the mission and say, okay, we're done, you know. But for now, this is the way we're going to do it. This video has not been an hour. I know it's only been like a half an hour with my announcement and everything, but let's go ahead and head back inside and we'll see what the next mission is, and we'll see if it will take us another half an hour or if it'll because this whole hour-long content thing is going to really get me, because with KSP you edit a lot. So I'll see you guys back inside really quick now that we have our 60,000 Kuros, nice little meaty money in the bank, and we'll see what we can see. So I'll see you guys there. Alright everybody, we are back inside, and if you notice here we have a big red blotch that says mission already finished. Probably wouldn't do us any good to do it again. I don't know. Doesn't say. Probably won't try. Well, actually, yeah, we can. We can deselect mission. So deselect mission. We'll open our browser window, and we will, yeah, mission already finished, so it knows we finished it. Probably won't pay us again for it. That's fine, non-repeatable. So now mission 2 is mission beta. Okay, now it's time to see if we could establish a stable orbit around Kerbal, reach a stable orbit of 80 kilometers plus or minus 5 kilometers, so anywhere between 75 and 85 with a probe. Stay there for 2 hours to collect data and then land safe, preferred at KSC. Don't forget you need all 4 sensors on the probe. So we get a 20,000 Kuro reward for this. Orbit 80, yeah, so we get 12,000 Kuros for that. I don't know if it's 12,000 Kuros for this stage and then 20 for the total, or if it's 12,000 for this stage. Oh no, it's 20,000 total, because you get 12 for this, 3 for this, 5 for this, which is optional. And that's not going to happen. There is no way in hell we're going to be landing at Kerbal Space Center. I have never been able to pull that off. I've watched Scott do it. He's flown all the way out to Gilly, come back with a nuclear rocket, and set down blunk right next to the launch pad. The man is insane, I swear. Okay, so this is what we need. Let's go ahead and select the mission really quick. So we have required parts. So we need a probe. Once again, we're going to go super cheap probe body, because that's what we do around here in KSP on the Realz. We only take what we need to take. So we need an accelerometer, a sensor. Okay, we need an accelerometer, barometer, gravimeter, and thermometer. That's going to make this ship expensive right off the bat. So we need an accelerometer, one of these. We need a barometer. Take barometer readings in space. Thermometer, okay, and then accelerometer. Do we have an accelerometer? Accelerometer, okay, that's 1. Barometer, that's 2. Gravimeter. Well, this is the gravioli detector. Is that the same thing? I think that is the same thing, because there's only the 3 detecting units, yeah. So it's the gravioli detector. So they want 1 of each of the 4 basic ship components, basic probe components. Why you'd want a, well, gravioli detector, fine, I can understand that. Why you would want a barometer detector in space, I don't know. But then again, I do remember a time when I think it was a Edgar Allan Poe story of all things. I believe it was Poe that wrote it, where a person was like flying an airship and decided to fly an airship into space, an air balloon into space. And what was hilarious about it was he decides to fly this airship into space, and he actually states, well, as I go up, air will become more rarefied. And because of that, because of course back then they climbed mountains, they knew the higher you went, the harder it was to breathe. And he's like, well, because of that, by the time I reach space, it will be so rarefied, I will need a mask of some kind and oxygen tanks. And it's like, yeah, that's great. You'll also need a thermal suit because you're going to freeze to death. Oh, and lead pants because you're going to get cooked alive by radiation. But those are things they really didn't know about back then. Alright, so we do have all the little parts and pieces that we need. Let's check our center of mass really. Let's not do that. I was going to check our center of mass, but apparently it's hard to tell the difference. Alright. So, we want to go up, and then once again we want to come back down. So I think we'll stick with the original design that we had. It's a very similar design to the words that I cannot speak. Wait for it. The shroom. Yes, very similar design to the shroom. Probably just the shroom 2.0 is basically what we're building here. As a matter of fact, I could probably just do the shroom 2.0, just reload the shroom at a... You know what? Why don't I do that? I don't even know why I was thinking about this. We're just remaking the shroom, right? Except we're adding additional parts. So if we're adding additional parts, let's do that. Let's go ahead and bring up... No, compact. I need to move you. You're in the way. Alright. Oh, one thing I was going to check for 0.20 was whether or not the sub-assembly loader was available. Don't know if it is. This is kind of in the way. But I should really get that, just in case. That way we can build like a super cheap asparagus system and use that. That'd be great. Alright, so this got us up to 75,000 kilometers, but ran out of fuel. 75 kilometers, not 75,000 kilometers. 75,000 meters or 75 kilometers. Pick one. 700, 600, 200. Hello. Why are you in the way? Stop being in the way. Not sure if I want to go cheap on these, actually. Cheap is scary with these particular devices. Sometimes they fail to function. And I don't think that's actually... they're built to fail. I think they just do. I think they just honestly just fail to function from time to time. Like, they just don't work. And they're also very close together, which makes me nervous. But let's go ahead and see if we can cheap up an asparagus system here really quick. That's our center rocket? Yeah. Alright, so we need enough fuel to come back down as well. We also need all 4 parts, so let's go ahead and ignore the engines for the moment. And let's drop our science equipment on here really quick. We need one of these. And then we need one of these. And I got... oh, no. We're putting 2 on. We're putting 2 on. Don't waste the money. We don't have enough. Alright, so one of these and one of these. Oh, wait, here we go. We got a 4 square this. I'm screwing it up really bad. Let's... Man, I kind of wish those little computer chips were tinier. I really do. That's my only complaint about the mod, is the computer chips take up way too much room. Only because they're silly. I mean, well, no, I could do this. There you go. If the computer chip takes too much room and has a clipping issue. Nope, still has a clipping issue. Well, I was hoping. Alright, so there we go. So we have all 4 parts that we need. We have a very expensive ship. This thing's 30,000? I only get 20,000 out of the whole mission. How can this thing be 30,000? Why are you so expensive? Stop it. Oh, you know what? I think I know. Yep, look at that. Do you see these 2 things? Rockets and all, 20,000. It looks like we're going to have to cut back a little bit. I know, right? Oh, dear Lord, this is going to be horrendous at best. Oh my god. No. This can't be good. Can you calculate thrust to rate ratio on those? Apparently that's all it's calculating. Wait, stage 3? Stage 3, it's not calculating for that. So I don't know how much these things are good for. If we take it off and put it back. Nope, I just want one. Just one, thank you. 3354, thrust to rate ratio of 3.08. Oh boy, that makes me nervous. Makes the ship cheaper, but eek. Yeah, okay. Well, we have some other options. We can pull a Scott Manley, but I'm pretty sure it'll be too expensive. Let's see. 850, 950, 950. I was gonna try turbo fanning it, like do turbojet engines, but those might be too expensive. Let's see. 550 by 550. How much do these solid rocket boosters cost? They cost us 450 a piece. That's 850 total. That's the cost of one of those engines. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit of work, guys, because I have to make some design choices depending on the cost. And because we don't want to spend more than we make. That's just really silly. But of course, I don't want this to be the whole of the show either. I don't want the series just to be all about me micromanaging money. And if it comes down to where this is a problem because these parts are not balanced well for the current cost, because I don't think they were ever balanced well to begin with, they were just randomly placed with cost. And because of that, there's a chance that this might not actually work for us to do what we need. Or at least maybe my rockets weren't as efficient as I thought. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a pause really quick. I'm going to go ahead and put this thing together to make it as cheap and efficient as possible. I will not be testing it. You guys know that because every time I launch it, we drop some cash. So this is going to be untested. So because of that, I'll be right back. I'll see you guys in a second. Alright everybody, I think I've come up with a functional design for this. It's basically the Shroom 2, except with an additional stage on it. It makes it much less likely to reach the 75,000 meter mark. I'm getting better. With the initial stage, but then we have a secondary stage, which hopefully will help us out a little bit. I hope. Not 100%, don't know. Have more Delta V than before, but not a lot. The whole thing costs 14,000 Kyros. But I honestly think that's because of all these little pieces of equipment that we have on here. I think those science equipment pieces are like super expensive. I didn't even bother to look because they're required. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. That's 800. It's not even really anything at all. What the hell is making this thing so expensive? It's got to be all the fuel tanks and everything, I think. I really think that's what it is. Yeah, 225 for the fuel tank and 750 for the engine. That's really what does it. These engines are not cheap engines. 950 or 850. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and go with this one. If it doesn't work, we're gonna have to launch it again, and that's gonna kind of hurt us a little bit. But it is the option we have on hand, so we're just gonna call it the TRZ, the Realz Shroom 2, and well, I guess I'll see you guys out there on the launch pad. We'll see if we can get this thing up into the sky. Super scary stuff, even more so than the last one. So here we go. Alright everybody, here we are out on the launch pad. We're just going to go ahead and launch really quick because we just have to get this thing up to 85, not 75, excuse me, 85 kilometers. I've been saying that wrong this whole time, didn't even realize it. Been concentrating on the other things I've been saying wrong. Anyway, 85 kilometers, and then once we're there, we are going to attempt to get this thing back down. So here we go. Alright, and we have a terminal velocity right now. So we're going to go ahead and not keep our max throttle up, strangely enough. This thing does not have very good thrust vectoring right now, because I'm using the big engine. Well, not big. Well, it's a big engine for the small tank, if that makes any sense. So no thrust vectoring at all. We're just going to have to cope with it being what it is, which is a big pain in the rumpus. So we're at 3,000. Actually, if we do, I think, does this thing have... there you go, atmospheric drag. We have terminal velocity is currently 176 meters per second. We're not very stable either. Whew. Okay, 70. Let's go ahead. I think I'm going to start rolling over now a little bit, just because it's going to take us a minute to roll. There you go. Please don't flop over. Ah, she's going to flop. She's going to flop. It does that. I don't know why. I think this mission might be a failure. This particular design always does that because this engine doesn't have thrust vectoring. But the engine that does have thrust vectoring is not that good. And throttle up as best we can. Come on, come on, come on. There we go, okay. So yeah, that was totally my bad. Alright, try to keep it straight up. Come on. She does not want to stay up. She really wants to flop over because she's top heavy. Out of fuel anyway, so it won't matter. Alright, so we'll see how this one fares for us then, because that just completely screwed us up. So we're at 39,000. 43, okay. We have to have enough fuel to come back down, right? That's our thing. 50. Okay, we're kind of tilt over a little bit. I know this is kind of silly, but we're trying to get our best angle of approach right now is what we're really doing. We need enough speed to get into orbit too, that's the other thing. So up and over at the same time. Eek, half our fuel's gone. This is not going to end well for anybody. Alright. Did it say 80? 80 plus or minus 5 was what it was, I believe. Okay, so not the greatest event ever. Unfortunately, this is probably going to be a dead stick issue. Well, it's not dead stick. You know what I mean. It's the ship is not going to function as well as I had originally hoped. Um, but hey, we're up here. That's a start. We may not be able to come back down though. That might be a thing. We'll have to see. So let's go ahead and speed up time a little bit. I know we're still in physical time acceleration. There we go. Once you hit 70,000, physical time acceleration automatically shuts off, and then you can do normal time acceleration, but you just have to be cautious about that. Alright, we're at 80,000. We're going to go ahead and go up now. Alright, so we'll see if we can get to what our destination, our desired apoapsis periapsis at is, our minimum periapsis, yeah, 75,000, really? Don't think it's going to cut it, though. I think we're going to be just a little bit off. Because it takes 2,300 meters per second to get there, and it's not going to work. We are almost out of fuels. Vessel, Delta V is not... That's a rendezvous. Where is our... well, actually, yeah, we don't have Delta V count, do we? Not outside the vessel. Whoops, my bad. Okay, well, yeah, so I may have screwed up this orbit. Whoa, why are we still going down? Oh, I know why. That's why. Because I did some silly burniness, and I completely screwed up our orbit. We might have actually made it if I hadn't screwed it up, but I did. So we're going to be coming back down, and we're going to be coming back down hard. And that's not going to be fun. So let's go ahead and ditch. We want to roll it around. Yeah, I screwed this up really bad. That's going to be an expensive fail. Actually, let's not roll it around. Let's roll up. Ditch that. There we go. And this is the part we want. Don't smash into anything. We just want to come back down as safely as humanly possible. Which probably won't be that safe. Alright, so yeah, this was unfortunately a failed mission, mostly because I did my burn wrong. I think we might have actually been able to do it better. 1 second, guys. Alright, everybody, sorry about that. One of the problems I was having with long videos, people tend to interrupt you. Not an issue. So we're going to try to come back in. I have nothing to slow our roll. Or slow our roll, I call it, but we have nothing to slow down our descent. We're coming in at a very steep angle, but this will demonstrate the ablative coating. If we survive the incoming drop, maybe we'll get lucky, and we can salvage some of our ship, which will be worth basically nothing by the time it hits the ground. But here we go. We're going to check out the temperature, which is starting to heat up because we're now coming in. If you notice, the ablative shielding is now at 249, so that it starts to take damage, or initially, like instantly, like as soon as it starts to heat up. That may have actually occurred on the way up, or when the ejector plate went off, when the separator went off. That's a possibility that may have damaged the plate. But then, yeah, see, now we're at 248. So as that goes down, it starts to take damage, see? And as the temperature goes up and the heat goes down, it's just, and yeah, so you can see how the math works. I don't even know why I'm trying to explain it to you guys. I'm doing a really lousy job of that. So this mission is unfortunately our second mission of the series, the second mission of this episode, but the second mission of the series is unfortunately a bust due to poor design on my part for the requirements at hand. I will have to correct that somehow. But let's go ahead and, oh, there we go. There we go. You see it? Now, the Deadly Reentry mod does something else as well, is it actually corrects these flames to where they don't do what the flames used to do. Like, the flames used to actually pass through the heat shield, and they might still be doing it. Nope. The flames used to pass through the heat shield and, like, blow stuff up on the other side, as you saw during a couple of our tests. Because of that, they were able to, I guess the way the mod works is even though it kind of looks like these are on fire, they're not. Temperature's at 0. -8. But on this side, yeah, 420. So it's starting to go down. So these things work really, really well. The Deadly Reentry mod is actually not as scary as I thought it would be, and it's actually not as scary as it used to be, because now this being higher than this max temperature, doesn't matter so much anymore. So your angle of descent doesn't have to be super perfect anymore. So see, our blade of coating is still going down a little bit, but we're less than halfway. And look at that. Now it's slowed down already. So yeah, we have hence sort of at least made it. We're at 700, 600 meters per second. We're going to go ahead and ignite our parachute, which will slow us down even more really quick. Oop, getting some sound issues there. Apologies. So yeah, that's how the burn-in works. Unfortunately, this was a very expensive demonstration of that. But like I said, I think from now on, I'm going to be like 0% concerned with that cost versus getting the ship up. I will try to be minimalist as possible, I think, just for fun. But at this point, because this is a permadeath, realistic Kerbal space program thing, spending hours and hours of video time launching probes, which you can do without permadeath, for the sole purpose of building up income that doesn't really matter in the end anyway, is not that big a deal. We may run a tallied score at the end of the game, and I'll try my best not to be wasteful. Or at the end of the game, at the end of the series, whenever that comes. Hey, Minmus. Nice to see Minmus. Yeah, we may run a tally and be like, oh my god, we were this much in the hole, but for the most part, I don't think it's going to be the biggest thing. I thought it would be a problem. It is kind of a problem because I'm using mods. Nothing is balanced. It's not 100%. And for those reasons, there's really no reason to be concerned with the money. So we will use the system as a guide, but we're not going to worry about this so much because we started at 50, we went up to 60, and now we're down to 46. So making money in well, you don't really make money in Kerbal Space Program, do you? I mean, you don't make money in NASA either, really, as far as I'm aware. They're constantly losing money. Space programs are meant to spend money for exploration. They don't, like, I mean, if they could figure out a way to turn a profit, great, but there's no one's really figured out a way to do that except the Russians, who just sell spots on their shuttles and then they give you spacesuits. They're like, hey, buy a spacesuit, buy a space on the ship, go up to space for $8 million or however much it is now, and come back down. And a few people who with a lot of money have done that, but no one's really done it here in the U.S. as far as I'm aware. So for that reason, yeah, not too concerned about the probe bits just yet. Also, the ISA mapsat's not working, and because of that, there's really no reason to launch satellites. So I think we may either skip ahead or be less concerned about the cash. But this ship is nearly in the ground, or nearly at the ground. I kind of want to speed up time a little bit just for safety, but I don't want my parachute to break either, which happens from time to time. And at 240 meters, that happening is very bad. Alright. This is super fun. Once again, I'm going to have to figure out where to cut here because in a permadeath or realistic system, yeah, you never know where you're going to want to cut. You're going to want to cut here, you're going to want to cut there, you're going to want to cut boring stuff, of course, like this, but since we're going to recycle the ship, I just kind of want to see how much money we get back, and then after that, I think we're not going to worry about money so much. I don't even know if you can recycle the ship if you can't finish the mission. That's quite the possibility. And touchdown. In a second. There it is. Alright, so there we are, touchdown. Very pretty. Can we... Actually, you can't cycle the ship, can you? Nope, you cannot recycle the ship if you haven't completed the mission. That is a pain in the butt. So not only does it become wasteful, it becomes super wasteful. So yeah, I am definitely not going to be worried about the money so much from now on. We are only going to be worried about things like just, I don't know, we may even skip the probe missions and just go straight to Kerbal missions just for fun. But for now, that absolutely has been an hour, if not a little bit more. And this is probably going to be a completely uncut video, except for the portions where I actually manually physically cut the video. So once again, I would like to thank you all absolutely for joining me, 4KB Short, on this Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program and the Realz. And please, please, please follow me on Twitter for future updates to the channel, to what games I'll be LPing. You guys are going to get to have a voice. That's super important to me. When you guys comment and stuff, I listen. I promise I listen. And I will see you guys next video.